I paid $350 for this broken Steam Deck. The seller said that they broke the screen and then they replaced it and it worked for a while and then it just stopped working. So in this video, we're gonna try and fix it. This video is sponsored by iFixit, more on them in a minute. Oh, and today is the grand reveal of Bald Steve. If you wanna know more about my health or why I'm currently bald, I'll put a link to a blog post in the description that'll fill you in. Now let's try and get this Steam Deck fixed. The seller said that it does actually turn on and you can hear noise and the fans work, but it doesn't show anything on the screen, so... Oh yeah, got some noise. Definitely nothing on the screen though. From here, it looks like they did a pretty good job replacing the screen. I don't see anything major going on there, any major problems or anything. Okay, the fan is definitely not turning on. Either is the power light. Could be that the battery is just fully discharged. Okay, let's get the battery plugged in and see if that will help. Okay, we do get a light indicating that it is charging. And it does stay on, so that's good. The fan is still not coming on. So I think we need to let this charge for a little bit and then we'll see if this thing will turn on. Now while that's charging, I want to show you the parts and tools that I got from iFixit for this specific repair. If you have a pretty good set of precision tools, then you might have all the tools that you need, and all you might need to purchase is the repair part. So inside this box has everything we need for the repair. You know, as long as you don't leave any in the box. So here we have some thermal paste, we've got a lint-free wiping cloth, and then we also have the adhesive for the screen itself. So this is the kit that comes if you just buy the part. It has everything you need to replace the part in your Steam Deck. Now, if you need tools as well, you can also get this kit, the eye opener kit. And inside of the eye opener kit, you get exactly what you would expect, all the tools you need to do this job on your Steam Deck. So we've got cards to help pry the screen away. We've got the eye opener. This is what you heat up and lay on top of the screen to loosen the adhesive. And then we've got all of these parts and tools right here to help us remove the old screen and install the new one. And I think I just heard the fan start up. And I definitely did. So the fan is going, and obviously just nothing on the screen. Even if we shine a flashlight on it, there's just nothing there. So I think what we need to do is start taking this thing apart and get down to the screen connector and then see if there's anything we notice along the way that might be causing a problem here. One of the cool things about iFixit is they sell a lot of genuine OEM parts, and that's the case with this Steam Deck screen. But another cool thing is when I scroll down to the bottom of this, there's actually a replacement guide as well. It'll tell me the approximate amount of time it should take, 2 to 3 hours, and also how difficult it is. They have these guides for thousands and thousands of devices, so it's definitely worth checking out if you're trying to repair something you've never done before or if you just need a refresher. So while I'm starting the disassembly on this, the fan will spin up and then it will turn off and then it'll spin up again. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's kind of weird. So we need to get this plate off and then we can check the fan connector. I doubt it's just a connector problem, but that would be crazy if it was. If that was the case, I probably wouldn't be able to keep making this video because that would just be too short of a video. Now also, I am being super careful with everything I'm doing here because I don't have the battery disconnected yet, so I don't want anything that's metal to touch, you know, anything that it shouldn't be. So being super careful there. Now that we're down this far, we can disconnect the battery, and that's what I'll do in just a second here. I think this is the screen connector, and it does look fine from right here anyway. But before we go any further, let's get this battery disconnected so it will de-energize the whole board. This soldering splint is one of iFixit's newest soldering tools. So we have this wire right here that we broke and we want to fix it. So I'm going to slide the wire down inside the jaws, right about there. And then this end has a connector on it. So I'm going to slide this end down here. And now I'm just going to add some flux to the wires. I am going to be using this fume extractor. We don't want to be breathing in any of these fumes. Now I have my soldering iron right here and I have some solder loaded up on the iron. So I'm just going to solder those two wires together just like that. And now they are soldered together very solidly. This is just one example of the soldering tools that iFixit carries. You can check them out at ifixit.com/TronicsFix, and I'll put a link right in the description. I think what I'll do is I'll actually disconnect the battery, disconnect the screen, and then reconnect the screen and just see if that does anything at all for us. Just check this connector itself, or the ribbon cable. Yeah, that looks fine. Don't really see any issues there. Okay. Also, make sure and unplug the AC adapter as well. Don't do what I just did and unplug the battery and then leave the AC adapter plugged in. Okay, screen is now plugged in again. Now let's see what happens. Probably have to plug it in again. Yep, just nothing on the screen at all. Okay, it wasn't just a loose connector. That's kind of a bummer. But did the previous person who opened this use the perfect amount of thermal paste? Definitely not the perfect amount. Not too bad, but I think we can do better. Those screws are all the same size, M1.6, and it shows an arrow right where they go. There's not an arrow right here, and that's because this screw has already been removed. Now we can kind of lift up the board. There we go. Oh, this one just goes all the way through. Okay. And now the board is disconnected. Now let's have a look at this ribbon cable. There definitely is a bit of a gap between the white line and the locking tab, but I don't think that's enough to do anything. I don't think that's far enough out that it would cause a problem. And I don't see any damage on it either. Okay. That is, I kind of wish there was a problem here because then I would know what the problem was, but so far I don't see any problem with this. And when I put it back in, it lines up kind of the same. So I feel like that's probably not the issue. Let's try removing this sticker on the back just so we can inspect the board and see if there's anything going on under here that we can see. Definitely nothing obvious. I think it might be worth taking a look under a microscope on this though. So the first thing I want to check is around the screen connector. I'm looking for anything, any sort of bent or damaged pins or anything like that. And these all look really good. I don't see any problems there. And I don't see any problems here. If there was a bad pin here, then that could cause a bad connection on that ribbon cable that goes to the LCD. Also, same thing here, just kind of looking at the SSD connector to look for any bent or broken pins. No problems there. This is interesting. It looks like a place where a BGA chip could go, but it's obviously non-populated. So then I'm just kind of taking a look around the rest of the board, see if there's any signs of anything else going on. Not sure what this, I don't know what that is. I think that's probably just leftover flux. I don't see really any corrosion issues, so I don't think there's any liquid damage on this, but that's always a possibility. Okay, let's look at the other side of the board. One of the things that I'm trying to keep in mind is that this board was dropped. So I'm looking for anything that looks like it could have broken off of the board. And so far, I just don't see anything at all. Okay, everything is looking really good. So I think it's time to move on. So since everything looks good on the board and I don't see any problems with the ribbon cables or anything like that, I'm going to try a few button combinations and let's just see if we can get anything to work here. Okay, so the first thing, we're going to press the 3 dots and the volume down button for about 5 seconds. Okay, and then after that, we will press the power button. And we get nothing. So no amount of button combinations will get this screen to turn on. I think the next thing we need to try is connecting it to an external monitor and see if we get anything on an external monitor. That'll help us determine whether there's something going on the board maybe, or whether it is something with this screen. Now, since the person I bought it from did say that the screen did work for a while, my gut tells me it's probably not the screen, but also it's strange that it would just stop working. So I'm I'm not totally sure, but I feel like it must be some sort of software issue. So I have an external monitor connected through the Steam Deck into a hub, and that's how I have this all connected. I've got both of them powered, so we're gonna try and turn this monitor on, see if we can get a picture on the monitor. And monitor power, come on. Yeah, just no signal. I know there's commands that you should be able to give to the Steam Deck that'll tell it to send the signal to the monitor, but unfortunately, there's just nothing on the Steam Deck at all. No button combinations or presses or anything will get anything on the screen. So I think what I want to do now is try and re-image the Steam Deck and just see if that happens to help. I'm not sure it will, but we're kind of running out of options here. So I have the USB stick ready with the software on it. Now the Steam Deck is totally powered off, no lights, no fans. So we need to do number 3, hold the volume down and click the power button. When you hear the chime, let go of the volume down button and you'll be booted into the boot manager. Let's see if that's actually gonna work. I feel like it probably won't, but you never know. And volume down and power. When you hear the chime, let go of the volume down button. Here we go. You'll be booted into the boot manager. There is no boot manager. And the power button isn't even on. Try it again. So we hear the noise. Oh, the power button flashes once and we get nothing on the screen. Okay, so I was able to put the Steam Deck into battery storage mode, and that is when the white LED is blinking 3 times. So it's all in storage mode now. I should be able to just press the power button and it should turn on. Okay, good. And exact same issue. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is take this back apart, install the brand new iFixit screen. Even though there's no indication that this screen is bad, I still think it's probably a faulty software issue, but I'm going to put the new screen in just to check, and let's see if that'll fix it. And just for fun, let's see how much voltage this battery has in it, just to make sure there's not a battery issue. 8.76. That should be a fully charged battery, as this is a nominal voltage 7.7 volt DC battery. So battery's good. I think what I'm actually going to do is just plug the known good working screen into this connector, and then that'll tell us whether it's a screen issue or not a screen issue. And lock it down. Now this brand new iFixit screen is installed. Let's plug the battery in. There we go. And we will plug it into AC power. Okay, and I heard the noise. Let's try the power button. Yep. Fan comes on for just a second and then goes off. And we're just getting nothing again. So unfortunately, no matter what I do, no matter what button combinations I push, this screen just won't light up, whether it's the screen that's currently in it or with this brand new one from iFixit. So unfortunately, I just don't have anywhere else to go with this Steam Deck. I think it's probably bricked internally by software, and unfortunately, there's just no way that I know of to unbrick it. If you have an idea, put it down in the comments and maybe I'll be able to revisit that in another video. If you want to see a video where I try to fix a different broken Steam Deck with a little better outcome, I'll put a link for that video up on your screen now so you can come hang out with me over there and see if I can fix it. Don't forget to go to ifixit.com/TronicsFix. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.